Hey students, I'm going to show you a sample paragraph so we can look at structure, development, organization, and all those things. So here, I'm writing a paragraph about why I think running is a popular sport, why running is popular, okay? So the title of my paragraph is Why Running is All the Rage, and I'm going to read it to you here and then I'll break it down. Although running is not ideal in all environments, it has become an ideal way to get some exercise. First, it's relatively cheap in comparison to other forms of exercise. Many athletes pay for gym memberships that can cost up to $100 a month for CrossFit classes, yoga, and indoor basketball games, while running is absolutely free if it's done outside on public streets, sidewalks, or trails. And as long as the runner isn't drawn into expensive, trendy road races or flashy running shoes, the only gear required is a pair of running shoes that can be found for under $40 at discount stores. The second reason running is such a popular form of exercise is because it's an effective way to make friends and bond with others as long as it's done with another person. For example, if someone goes on three 30-minute runs each week with the same person, that is a total of 90 minutes of friendly conversation, which is more than some people spend with their family members. The most important reason for why running is such a widespread sport is because of the many benefits it can offer a person, both mentally and physically. Not only does it improve flexibility, muscle strength, and lung capacity, but it also releases stress because it boosts endorphins, which can result in what is known as the runner's high. For these reasons, running has become all the rage in many parts of the world. All right, so that's a simple, basic paragraph on a friendly, fun topic, something I like. So now I'm going to break down the parts of a paragraph. Now, you might want to review how to write a paragraph with an outline. I do have a video that goes over what needs to go inside of a paragraph, but just to review here, what needs to go inside of a paragraph is a topic sentence, at least 3 supporting points. It doesn't always have to be 3 points, right, to support that topic sentence, and then a conclusion to wrap it up. And I can show you just a sample of what an outline would look like, just so you get the idea. You want to have topic sentence, which is your first point. That's the point of your whole paragraph, what you're trying to convince the reader of. And then you have at least 3 points. It doesn't always have to be 3 points, but it's a good number, 3 points. Point 1, point 2, point 3 in the body. And then you have a conclusion, okay? And your conclusion is basically, let me spell that right. Conclusion. A conclusion basically restates the topic sentence, okay? So you have your topic sentence, the body, and then the conclusion at the end. Okay, so let's look and see if we can find those parts over here in this paragraph. Why running is all the rage. There's the title. Now notice that's called a title. It is not the topic sentence. It is not even a sentence. It's a phrase, and it relates to the topic of the paragraph. And notice it has capital letters at the beginning of each word, and that is because that's what you do with titles, is you use a capital letter at the beginning of each word in a title, except for words like articles, a, and the, conjunctions, and, but, yet, or prepositions, in, on, about, those kinds of things. Okay, now let's read the paragraph and see if we can find those parts. Although running is not ideal in all environments, it has become an ideal way to get some exercise. Now here is the topic sentence. Like I said, your topic sentence is usually the first sentence of a paragraph. It throws out what the topic is, what the writer's trying to tell you, and now as the reader, you should be thinking, really? Has running become an ideal way to get exercise? Is it a popular form of exercise? Really? Is that true? And then it's the writer's job to convince you, okay? So this topic sentence is my opinion. I believe that running is popular, and maybe you would disagree. So now I have to prove to you that it's true, and I have 3 points in my paragraph to prove it to you. Let's look for those 3 points. First, it's relatively cheap in comparison to other forms of exercise. Now I'm going to highlight that. That is my first point to prove to you that it's a popular sport. And I say a little bit more, so let me read it. First, it's relatively cheap in comparison to other forms of exercise. Many athletes pay for gym memberships that can cost up to $100 a month for CrossFit classes, yoga, and indoor basketball games, while running is absolutely free if it's done outside on public streets, sidewalks, or trails. And as long as the runner isn't drawn into expensive, trendy road races or flashy running shoes, the only gear required is a pair of running shoes that can be found for under $40 at discount stores. All that is my specific detail that I want to give you about that point I've made, my first point. My first point, which is that running is relatively cheap in comparison to some other sports like golf or even yoga or, other sports that might cost more money, okay? And so I'm giving you details about why that's true. You always want to give details, support, reasons, examples for your point. My point is that it's cheap. You can't just say that. You got to explain it, give examples, be specific, okay? And here I was very specific. Now let's look for my second point. The second reason running is such a popular form of exercise is because it's an effective way to make friends and bond with others as long as it is done with another person. Boom. There's my second point. I'm going to highlight that. I'm going to make it green because that's my second point. I want to have 3 of these green lines here, right? So here, okay, my second point for why I think running is popular is because it's a great way to bond with people. It's a great way to make friends, okay? So here, let's see what I have to say about that to be more specific to convince the reader. For example, if someone goes on 3 30-minute runs each week with the same person, that is a total of 90 minutes of friendly conversation, which is more time than most people spend with their family members. Now, that is showing you, and I'm going to make this blue, this is showing you evidence for why I believe running can help bond people, which is why I think running is popular, because when you make bonds and friendships with people, it's fun to want to keep running with them. And then here, if I keep reading, the most important reason for why running is such a widespread sport is because of the many benefits it can offer both people both mentally and physically. And I'm going to make that green again, okay, because that's my third point. It's actually my most important point, and that's why I've left it for the last point. Sometimes we leave the best for last. I've left my best reason for last. Not only does it improve flexibility, muscle strength, and lung capacity, but it also releases stress because it boosts endorphins, which can result in what is known as a runner's high. Making this blue because that's my specific detail, my reasons, my examples, my facts, all that I want to be specific about. Okay, and then the last sentence is, for these reasons, running has become all the rage in many parts of the world. Basically, what I'm doing here is I'm concluding. This is my conclusion. And I'm making it yellow because I want to say that yellow conclusion is the same idea as what was presented up at the top. I'm just using different words, okay? You don't want to say the same exact words in your topic sentence and your conclusion. You want to use different words, but the same idea. So now if I zoom out, you can see this. Doesn't it look like a delicious hamburger? It has the yellow buns on the outside. The topic sentence and the conclusion are the bread. And inside it has like all the flavors, all the delicious the vegetables, the ingredients, the, different things that make it delicious, okay? And it's organized, it's structured, it's developed, it has detail, okay? One last thing I want you to notice is, and really, I mean, and you don't have to have this in every time, and as you become a stronger writer, you can get rid of so many of them, but it really, really helps to glue this together and make your hamburger delicious when you add the special sauce. And the special sauce is that's the transition words and the connectors that plug everything together, okay? So what I want to do is point out these transition words, and I'm going to make them pink for the sauce. First what? My first point, okay? Over here, the second reason. My second reasons for why you need to believe me, right? And then the most important reason, there's my last transition word that shows you I'm making I'm making 3 points and they all connect together to support that yellow topic sentence at the top, okay? So now my hamburger is perfect. It's ready to be eaten. Actually, it could always be better. Writing, you can always write. You can always make it better. Always make it better. But I'm going to stop here because I have what I needed to do. I have my topic sentence, I have my body, I have my conclusion. Inside of the body, I have 3 points. And for each point, I have specific facts, reasons, examples, or details, and I connect from one idea to the next with nice transition words that make it easy for the reader to follow my ideas. Now, if you want to know what kind of transition words are available to you, you can look on this handout that I have here, and you can see we use these types of transitions when we want to introduce those supporting points, those 3 supporting points inside of the body. So here I have the first point or reason is, or the second point or reason, or first, second, next, the next reason, lastly, finally, the final point is, right? And I actually said the most important reason is, right? I used that one. And then when you want to add details, like I did with that, facts, reasons, examples, details, to make it specific, here's the types of transitions you can use here. You could say, for example, or for instance, or to illustrate, or in fact, or an example is, or, I mean, you could do, there's so many, in particular, right? Or to be specific. There's so many different ways to add detail and to use these transition words to help the reader follow what you're saying. Finally, when you want to conclude that last sentence in the conclusion, you could say in conclusion, or to summarize, or in short, or overall, or all in all, or to conclude, or like I did, I said, for these reasons, da, 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 okay? And that's it. There's tons more transitions, but this is just an idea of what you can do for your basic paragraph structure. All right, I hope that was helpful.